Hello, and thank you very much for joining me today. It's Alan Barry Labucan with the Alan Barry Reports. I've got a new exciting sponsor to talk about today, QCX Gold. Their website is qcxgold.com, and they're involved in Quebec with some very exciting projects. They've got some ground that's near the what's the name of that company? Sorry, I just got to get the name of the company up here for you. There's a company that's been creating a lot of interest of late in Quebec is AZM, Azimuth Exploration. Azimuth Exploration has, as you can see, they were let's say a 20-cent stock. They've gone 10x since then. They've got some really great projects, and QCX has some projects right near them. Another really exciting part of the QCX story, Golden Goliath and Fernet are the projects. They're in the same jurisdiction as Azimuth and Walbridge discoveries. So, you know, these are companies that have created a lot of excitement in Quebec. And another company that my viewers will understand is Amex Exploration. And why this is interesting is Amex Exploration also shares the same head geologist. Their director of exploration is Kelly Malcolm, and Kelly Malcolm is also very involved with QCX. Now, normally when I bring on a new sponsor, I charge a fee for that. In this case, I took options to purchase stock in this company as in trade for their sponsorship. And I'm going to show you a little bit of what has me excited about being involved. Here is the map of one of Azimuth's key exploration projects. As you can see, here is Azimuth, and then QCX has got this block of claims and this block of claims in the area where Azimuth has created a lot of excitement. And another key property that they have is their Fernet project. And Fernet is an extension of where Walbridge has their Fenelon project over here at a structural trend. And then you follow over here and you've got some more geophysical reasons to be interested in this project near Walbridge. I'm going to go to their news releases, press releases, and they changed their name. I talked about this company a little while ago, about 2 weeks ago. They were First Mexican Gold, but they changed their name to QCX Gold. And as I said, here's the news on their acquisition of the stuff near Walbridge. Oh, we got an internal internet. I'll have to tell them about that. And then they started their phase 1 exploration at that Golden Giant. That's the one that's near where AZM, Azimuth, is located. So good people involved with this company, good projects in good areas with some very strong geological reasoning behind what they're doing, and good people. So, and not a lot of stock out. So definitely check out their corporate presentation. Kelly Malcolm is very good at presenting these projects, and there he is, Kelly Malcolm, PGO director, and Here's that AZM Pat 1 project with the QCX ground. Here's that's the Golden Giant mineralization. As you can see, it's all along a similar story, along a geological trend there. Contact between two geological signatures. Important stuff. They're not just grabbing ground for the sake of grabbing ground. Kelly really knows what he's doing on acquiring, and so check out their corporate presentation. QCX is one that you'll hear me talking about more, simply because these guys are very good at acquiring ground, good people that won't have any problems now that Amex is a sort of a market darling. They should not have any problems whatsoever in acquiring ground. And yeah, check out their news releases, check out the projects, do your homework on this one. I like it a lot. Having talked about that one, I guess I should talk about my own company, Advanced Gold, who is the other sponsor of what we do. Advanced Gold, I'm just going to pull up the company on ceo.ca here. There it is, AAX. And I'll go to our website. I wanted to show you something on the website. We recently announced 2 private placements. We closed one for $300,000. We got some more interest just recently, so I announced another one, another private placement yesterday. And what we're doing here is, the goal is to get onto this geophysical anomaly. I put out a news release here with some really good details. That was a little bit ago. I'd invite you to check that out, but there's a key geophysical anomaly that I want to show you that is really important. Because this is the focus of our new drilling. We drilled a few holes over here in the shallow end of this large 3,500 plus meter geophysical anomaly. It's continuous chargeability anomaly. We drilled over in the shallow end, and we caught stacked layers of sulfides. Now, sulfides come from a deeper source, and over here is the deeper, what we think could be the deeper source. We're planning a hole right now and getting ready to start drilling over here to test this thicker intersection or area where the geophysical anomaly has a bend to it, and then it goes down beyond the detection limit of the geophysical method, IP. And so what's interesting about this area is, not only does it bend and go deeper, which, you know, is a highly good prospect for the source of all this, these sulfides that made their way over to here, but it also widens where it bends and goes deeper. This is a classic sort of target for a VMS, that a volcanetic massive sulfide system. And we'll be drilling into it here pretty quickly. So keep an eye on Advanced Gold. I think we've got the potential for a real game changer here with the drilling. So now that I've got the sponsors out of the way, I'm going to get into some picks here. Let me just get to the, one of the picks is Golden Goliath. Golden Goliath has really come out of a slumber here. I'm starting to see this in a lot of juniors, and starting to really move up nicely into much more bullish trends. I think this is a indication that we're into a much healthier market. These guys are involved with mainly in the Dixie Lake area, where Great Bear has made a discovery that has got it into what I consider is a cult-like valuation. And this has caused a lot of other companies to want to get involved in there. And Golden Goliath is, I'm just going to pull up some of their information. Their Kwai project is the one that is to the south of Great Bear. Here is the Dixie project of Great Bear. BTU, which is another pick, is down here. Kauai is another pick that they're getting some really interesting stuff going on with their Kauai project. They could be in the right kind of greenstone belt kind of rocks, and they're also getting some pristine grains in their sampling. That means that they're, you know, the source of where those grains, those gold grains came from is in very close proximity. And I think that they are one that could have an interesting project that could create some excitement if they get drilling and they drill into something interesting. Golden Goliath has 170 million shares out. With their current price, they're trading at about a $24.8 million valuation. Very interesting project here that could create some excitement. Check out their website at goldengoliath.com. One of the key places that when I'm on a website that I spend my time on is I spend time on the news section, of course. I want to see what they've been talking about. And as you can see, their Red Lake stuff is the stuff that they're you know, getting some good attention for. And then I also go to their I try to find their corporate presentations, because a lot of that's where a lot of companies put their key information, and in combination of their news releases and their corporate presentations, I can often myself figure out what the company's all about. So check out their website, go to their corporate presentation, look at their news releases. This is one that's trying to getting some work done in their Red Lake, Ontario, and in closeology play to Great Bear. The next company I wanted to talk about is Midland Exploration. Midland has 70 million shares out, trading at around $1. Gives them a market cap of 74 million. They bottomed in April here and have really shown a power chart since then. I really like these kind of higher highs and higher low kind of projects, and that's what Midland has now. Midland caused a lot of enthusiasm in the last year or two. I'm going to go to their 3-year chart here, and as you can see, they were up well over close to $1.50 back last year. Back in early 2019, they were a downward pressure until earlier this year, and now they're back on the more positive trend. And what has caused that, I'm going to get to their news releases. If I'm going to go to the Midland website. Here's their news releases. We'll go and look at a couple of the news releases. Midland begins drilling at their Samson East project, which is east of the Wallbridge's Fenelon and Tabasco project. Wallbridge has really created a lot of enthusiasm for this area. And as they say, there's 15 kilometers southeast of Fenelon. Their Tabasco deposits are the Tabasco prospect deposits that are owned by Wallbridge. The Samson project consists of 304 claims for 168 square kilometers. So it's on the Detour Fault. Key mining trend there to be aware of. And let's go back and look at some of their new. So they begin drilling. That's what's got the stock alive recently. They have also got that Goliath project that's created some interest. Casa Berardi North. See, these guys are involved with some really good projects. They've also got some ground near IM Gold and Van Star's Nelligan project. That's a 2 to 3 million ounce open pit type target. As you can see, they're just keep going down. You'll see more projects, more activity. They've got some really good projects, and they're drilling right now, and that's sort of why the stock has, go back up to a 1-year chart here, that's why the stock has gone up so aggressively, is the drilling at that project. So Midland, I like the chart, I like the valuation, I like that they don't have a lot of stock out, and they've got some really good projects. 74 million valuation. If they start looking like they've got something serious, that valuation will go much higher than where it is right now. So Midland, MD on the Venture Exchange, midlandexploration.com is their website. Check those guys out. Another spectacular pick for me at the has been Vizsla Resources. I covered it a lot in the last few months, multiple times, and then recently it's been basically a blast off, 500% gainer. They only have 59.4 million shares out. What really got people jived up recently is their is the news on their new discovery. Here it is. They added a third rig. Here's what really got the excitement going is this, as you can see, 2,800 grams of silver and 107 grams of gold over 3.7 meters at their Panuca project. What really got this, what really makes me excited is that these are new veins that they're finding and hitting this super high grade. So they're able to tag, you know, making new discoveries means that they understand the system that they're involved with. New veins are always an exciting thing because they tend to come in clusters. And as you can see here, they've got, here's 0.9 meter vein of a blind vein, doesn't come to surface. And it was just part of an extension of one of their holes. So 0.9 meters at 231 grams of silver equivalent. Then they've got this new discovery here, 6 meters of 8,000 grams of gold or silver equivalent, 3.7 meters of 1,200 grams of silver equivalent. The B part of that vein, so another vein hit 2.1 meters of 322. They've got, as you can see, they're getting blind veins in this system. This is a, you know, I don't want to get too hypey on this, but this is a sort of an analog to this is Mag Silver's Fresnillo discoveries. You know, they found new veins. They've got very high grades in them over significant widths, and high grade silver and gold. I mean, if you just had the gold alone, you'd be looking at something pretty exciting. But with the gold and silver combination is why the stock has just blasted off. And what really makes it exceptional is that these are new discoveries. They're in a district scale kind of project. And now they're making new discoveries. I think they could find a whole new cluster of veins here. Well, they've already shown that they've got a new cluster of veins. And a lot of these veins in Mexico can be blind, which is what the case was with Mag Silver as well. So you don't see many potential Mag Silver kind of stories come around very often. And Vizsla has one. And even with the appreciation of the stock, $148 million valuation is still pretty reasonable, and especially when they can find a whole new cluster. So I like Vizsla a lot, and they just have delivered exceptional results. And I think they've got the potential for a lot more of this in this district scale project of theirs. And they've got permits, they've got mine plans, they've got milling capacity. They've, excuse me, they've really got themselves into a exceptional project. It wasn't a cheap project for them to get into, and they still have an option to buy the whole thing. And it's going to come at not a cheap price, but look at the results they've got. There's no reason it should have been sold for a cheap price when you calculate everything that they've got and everything that they're working on. So Vizsla is one I think is for silver people that also want high grade gold and silver. Vizsla is one you want to have in your portfolio. I like them a lot. I've liked them since 50 cents or cheaper, and I continue to like them even at the valuation here. You got to own this one. The next company is another one that's done extremely well for me, which is Amex Exploration. I originally picked it about 1.5 years ago. They were trading at about 50 cents back then. They're up 600% since then. It's been an exceptional pick for me, and 70 million shares out with a $224 million valuation, and they've got one of the best new discoveries of high-grade gold in Canada. What characterizes this is a lot of visible gold in the system, as you can see from their pictures. Their recent results really caught a lot of the market's enthusiasm. Two of those results, one was a bonanza grade gold of 44 grams of silver or gold over 9.1 meters. And this is a depth extension. So you're looking at about 800 meters of depth here. So this zone that continues in the high grade, continuity of the high grade is what really makes me excited about this project. When I first got into it, I thought that, there was the potential for the high grade to continue. They've proven that. Another thing that I saw early was the potential for their zones to connect at depth. Now they're showing that potential as well. And it's all contained in this breccia zone. The breccia zone is a broken up group of rocks at the contact of two big structures, and it's a perfect environment for the high-grade mineralization, the juices, the gold-bearing fluids to make their way up to the surface. That's exactly what they have here, and Amex, I think, there's no wonder they've gone from, $1.30 or so here to now up over $3. And with gold going up, I think that they're in line for a re-rating. Amex is one that I think all investors in the gold space should have in their portfolio. I like them a lot. Contact Gold was a sleepy company that I picked under 16 cents a few times in the last few months, and recently they popped up to 24 cents. They've got 95 million shares out and a $21 million valuation, which still makes it quite reasonable. What I like about this company is that they're down in the Carlin Trend looking for open pit, heap leachable kind of projects. And if you look at their news releases, what's recently got people excited is they've done some metallurgical testing, and they're getting some very good gold recovery, which is important for these kind of projects. You want to know if you can get that gold out of there easily, and that's what it looks like at Pony Creek. Their Green Springs project, they recently started drilling. That's another exciting one where they've had 70 meters of 2.36 grams per ton gold for an open pit type target. That's very high grade, especially when you're looking in Nevada. Contact Gold is an up and comer. I think you want to own this one. and just keep watching it for more results and more work. They've they've done some good financing, 1.25 million. So keep an eye on them for work coming up. Genesis Metals is look at the chart. I really love these kind of charts. Higher lows, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Don't be surprised to see more higher highs and higher lows. They've got 43 million shares out, so a nice tight stock, 13.18 million valuation. Genesis Metals is I presented them as a group that is strong on the exploration efforts. They hit, as you can see here, multiple high-grade gold hits in their phase one project at their Chevrier project in Quebec. 9.71 grams of over 3.65 meters. Very nice looking rock. 9.73 grams over 4.5 meters. This is part of a halo of 1.93 grams of 76 lower grade halo of 1.93 grams of 76 meters, and included in that was the 3.65 meters of 9 grams. That other 9 gram hit, there was 84 a low grade halo of 84 meters of 1.65. So even in the lower grade halo, they're hitting some promising grades, and then they've got that 9.7 and 9.73, some 14 gram material, some nice high grades inside of the wider zone of lower grade. Even the lower grade is promising grade. So Genesis, I like these companies that, you know, don't have a lot of stock out, reasonable valuations, good projects, higher highs, higher lows on their stock. I think you're going to see more of that for Genesis. Genesis Metals is their genesismetals.corp.com is their website. GIS is their symbol on the venture. Next company up is Japan Gold. Japan Gold has more stock out than I generally like to see in an exploration company. 174 million shares out, market cap of 62 million. When they have a situation like that, I like to see that they're looking for elephants, and they're in Japan. One of the greatest, well, probably the best epithermal vein system mine in the world is the Hishikari mine in Japan. Extreme high grade, large, multi-million ounces, and that's what these guys are looking for. And so when you're looking for elephants, I can accept the fact that you've got, you know, a whole lot of stock out. Another important factor is that Barrick is aligned with these guys. They're partnered up on exploration, and Barrick's picking up the tab. So they're not going to have to do a whole lot more financings, which should cap that that 174 million shares out. So I don't expect to see them issuing a lot more stock. And because they're in elephant country, you know, basically this stock has been a flatliner at an average price of about 28 cents. Recently, it's been trending upwards, and you're still within striking range of the average price over the last year or so. I think that this is a good entry point for this company. Let them then look for these elephants. If they happen to find an elephant, well, if it looks anything like Hishikari, you know, this valuation will be in the you know, 100, 200, 300 million valuation. So you're looking at multiples of the current valuation if they look like they've got another Hishikari. Japan Gold is the name. JG is the symbol on the venture exchange. JapanGold.com is their website. Check them out. I like that one a lot. Opus One Resources has been is one of these you know, 72 million shares out, so not a lot of stock out. 4.3 million valuation, so a micro cap valuation. But then they've got good projects. They just hit 7.96 grams per ton of gold over 3.7 meters. It woke the stock up a little, but it's virtually gone from a, you know, a patchy trading, no love kind of stock to recently getting some good results that I think the market really hasn't sort of started to factor into the valuation yet. Their winter drilling at their Noyelle property, as I said, hit 7.96 grams of gold over 3.7 meters. So a nice little hit there. They're in the Casa Berardi gold trend east of the Vizsla mine. So they're in a good place to be looking for mines. And now they've got some hits there that the market really isn't putting too much excitement on yet, but definitely one that has caught my attention. OOR is their symbol on the venture exchange. You know, trades on an average volume of about 59,000 shares. So real sleepy little junior here that I think could come to life. Keep an eye on these guys. I love them when they're cheap and underloved. And that's where Opus One is right now. Their website is opusoneresources.com. Go take a look at that one. It's a new coverage for me on Opus One, and I think you're going to like what you see. The final company today, I believe, is Stratabound. Stratabound Minerals has recently come to life because they got a big investment from Eric Sprott, but the stock is still pretty under 10 million valuation, 44 million shares out, trading at 17 cents. SB is the stock symbol. Let's go to the Stratabound's website. We'll look at their news releases. Eric Sprott bought 19.5% of the company. They've got projects in Quebec, or up in the Yukon territory. We're coming into the season where that's going to see a lot of exploration. They've also got some projects in the Golden Triangle of British Columbia, and some stuff in New Brunswick as well that's caught some interest. So they've got a good combination of projects. Eric Sprott recently put some money in that's got some excitement, started to well up for this company. They started their exploration at Golden Culvert, and they just another one you want to take a look at and do some homework on. Cheap valuation, not a lot of stock out, recently made a breakout, got the interest of Eric Sprott, which is a good sign. And yeah, take a look at them. I think you'll like what you see. So I'm going to go back to my new sponsors website there and leave them up as I sort of close off the show. Something that I've been, some trends that I'm starting to see is that life is coming back into the junior exploration space. And it's about time. You know, gold has gone up from $1,200 and some dollars about a year ago to trade all the way up to $1,840 earlier today. But one thing that stays the same is that the industry is in drastic need of new discoveries and more exploration and more good results from that exploration. And, you know, we're just not finding enough new explorers out there. And another thing that I'm finding is even though gold has gone up quite dramatically, there's still a lot of bargains in the junior space. I'm quite shocked that, you know, today I was able to, find about 10 companies to talk about. That means that they are good projects, reasonable valuations with trends that look like the stocks are going a lot higher. I never would have expected that with gold going up to $1,840, that I would still be able to find so many good stories out there that are still underloved. Yet here we are, we're at 1,840 gold. Gold looks like it's heading towards 2,000 before the end of this year. There's a lot of new enthusiasm. You can see it in the stock prices, in the financings that are getting done, in deals that are getting done. And I just think that the market really is just starting to come around to exploration, gold stocks. And I think we've got a lot higher to go on a lot of these stocks. So I've been, over the last 6 months or so, I've done a lot of shows and picked a lot of good companies. I'm not one that, tries to do a scattershot rifle or a shotgun approach to it. So, I cover probably 20 companies in the space. There's probably 200 that I would say are serious about exploration. The rest are, either lifestyle companies or, juniors that ain't going to go very far. So I cover a good group of companies. Follow the shows and go do your research. I'm going to start making it easier for people to find a lot of the past shows. So yeah, there's a good group of companies for you to take a look at, and excited about my new sponsor. That always helps out with the bottom line here at the Allen Berry Reports, which need help. And we've got two good sponsors in QCX Gold in Quebec, and also my company, the Advanced Gold. Take a look. We'll be drilling at Advanced Gold here pretty soon. We've recently raised some good money. So yeah, there you go. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.